Hi and welcome to a new video. This video I just wanted to discuss if gaming routers are really worth it, and this is just for my normal user experiences of gaming routers. And of course I'm just an amateur gamer as well, probably a normal user, so I'm no way professional kind of level. But do the actual features built into it? I know I've seen some videos in the past years and lately saying that gaming routers are not worth it. And in my general opinion, I think they are. Of course, they're not going to make a crap player like myself generally a superior player. But if you're an enthusiast and you kind of semi-professional, even professional, I think some of the features that are actually built into there, some are going to be like marketing, and yes, their percentages are going to be a bit here, there, and everywhere kind of thing. But I think generally that the hardware is normally going to be faster, so the processor is normally faster in there. The more RAM, the ROM, the firmware, like the OS that's built into them, are going to have special features. Yes, things like quality of service are on all routers, but the quality of service might be different. It might have a different kind of algorithm behind it that prioritizes gaming. But also the gaming routers are going to have special features, just like the R3 NetDuma as well, kind of router that we'll go into in a minute, as well as the Netgears and the Asus routers will have GPNs. So it's not like a VPN where it basically encrypts and protects your privacy. A GPN, as we said before, that's built into some of the Asus routers, is like a gaming private network, so it gives you a dedicated connection and helps to actually give you faster speeds and things like that, and kind of lower latency and better ping rates, hopefully connecting to certain servers. Again, there's a caveat around there with the GPNs, as you'll see here with WT Fast. It covers a whole lot of games and things like that, and I'll link to some of these kind of pages here. It is only compatible with certain games, so if you play a specific game that might be not very popular, it might not be compatible. So signing up to some of these services won't help at all, and just wasting your money. So again, do your research, have a look to see if these game servers actually are compatible with the games that you're running, and also the servers that it is. And again, within the Asus routers, as we've looked at before, with their gaming features, they have a list of games that they are compatible with as well. So you can then decide if it really is going to make a difference for you. But generally, as I said, I think gaming routers are better. Like I said, around the hardware, the software. Not all the features will help, but also they're going to have better Wi-Fi technology, so they're going to have hopefully going to make your connection lower latency and stable, and also faster as well, because they're going to have the minimum of Wi-Fi 6. Like I said, they're going to have a minimum of 1 gig kind of Ethernet ports, but most will have multi-gig. Hopefully you'll be getting into Wi-Fi 6C and Wi-Fi 7, but again, most of the devices now, not everyone's has the privilege of having Ethernet around their home as a connection, so they have to have Wi-Fi. So a lot of the devices and consoles still use Wi-Fi 6, so the newer technologies like Wi-Fi 6E and Wi-Fi 7 won't really help, but they do as well help with the older kind of Wi-Fi 6 by kind of the software helps to actually reduce ping as well and latency. So it is worth and future proofing if you are looking for a router to try and get a Wi-Fi 6E, even if you think, oh, well, my device is a Wi-Fi 6. The Wi-Fi 7 and 6E will help your networking with older devices, as we've discussed before. So if you do want to go in more detail, have a look at my other videos in the past. But again, it's just looking for the latest Wi-Fi standard and trying to balance that as well. But so, looking at as we said, you've got multi-gig ports. So a lot of the gaming routers I see will have dedicated multi-gig ports. So they'll have either 4 2.5 gigabit Ethernet LAN ports or 2 10 gigabit ports. So again, not everyone's going to have that feature, but it's going to internet kind of like hopefully future-proof you. So eventually if you get higher speeds available to you, and I see a lot of plans now are 1 gig or even more, so you can get 2.5 even 10 gig Ethernet at home. Of course, it's down to how much you can afford for the monthly cost, but again, it's most important, as we must say, is that the Ethernet. So if you're going to have a look at your you've got a problem with your kind of latency and ping rate, it's probably first to look at your internet plan and see if your ISP, to see which plan you can get and of course is most cost effective for you. Go for the fastest one. Again, try and look for ones where they have the same upload and download speed, because a lot of them you just look and think, oh, it's got either 1 or 2 gig download speed, but sometimes they only have like 100 meg upload. Again, that limits it. So try and look for ones where it's 1 gig upload, 1 gig download, if it's available in your area. Again, it's going to depend on your country, your area, or even when you live in. So try and go for the best one you can afford. Then you can upgrade the router to suit that connection, so that won't be your bottleneck as well for connections as well. But again, it's all down to the speed of your actual device. So if you are going to want the best speeds, Ethernet will always beat Wi-Fi, for latency and everything else. But again, the gaming router, even if you're using them kind of Ethernet, it's going to have a faster processor, it's going to have more RAM, so it'll be able to handle all your connections as well as your devices. So I do believe that gaming routers would be an advantage compared to a normal router. And we'll come to some caveat in a minute when we look through some of the manufacturers. But again, as we go through some of the quality of service feature, they are going to be more dedicated for the gaming. So as we said, every device normally has a router, has a quality of service feature, but some of the game application boosters and the TP-Links and the Asus and then the Netgear and the R3 Netderma as well all have special gaming ones that will help reduce your lag as well and your gaming servers as well. So again, as we said, they normally have a dedicated gaming port or the prioritized gaming certain applications within the quality of service, and they'll have the game server acceleration by the GPN as well. So again, I personally think that the gaming routers will be better for you. Yes, some of the features are not going to help improve. You're going to have to get the basics first, like your internet plan is going to have the best one, and then if possible to have Ethernet. But again, as I said, not everyone has that luxury, so Wi-Fi, and I think having the faster processor and the RAM will help with dedicated features and everything else that you'll see in here. So as we said, the Netderma literally has a lot of features. This is one of the most dedicated gaming routers that I've seen and reviewed. Again, I'll do some more reviews because they've got some quite good, their latest firmware, their OS updates, and then also around their features they've got into it. So these things really do make a difference. They're not just marketing kind of thing. Sometimes it's just a load of rubbish when they're talking. These things do actually make a difference, like their ping optimizer and their steady ping and the ping heat map, and especially their geo filter as well. So basically it will narrow down the server so you don't have to start searching around kind of thing further away for game servers. Things like ad blockers not going to really help you for your gaming, but again, it'll probably help your other devices as well. So it's got like a hybrid kind of thing. And again, it's got RGB, as we know, that always makes things faster. So as we said here, what I'll do is I'll put some links into around this one here if you are interested, around their geo filter and how that helps, as well as their steady ping. As we said, this OS is really dedicated to gaming. Their features as well. So you can see here this OS that they're using is actually used as well in the kind of OS that is on their gaming service for Nighthawk. So this is Netgear's one. But again, as I said, the caveat, normally the gaming routers are normally better. But particularly in the UK, if you have a look at this pricing, it's $350 for the specific gaming router that's Wi-Fi 6. When if you're paying $350, I would say even this one here that's got Wi-Fi 6E, that's cheaper, better to go for this one, because this one's going to have better future proofing. And for the same price, you can go and get the Wi-Fi 7. Again, this one's going to have better future proofing for you for Wi-Fi 7 when the consoles and everything else start getting Wi-Fi 6E or Wi-Fi 7 when they next come out. And also it's just going to handle all the connections much quicker and easier. So in this caveat, I would actually say on Netgear, it's probably with this pricing kind of thing, even though it's got the dedicated operating system, and that's something that you're interested in, then get the Netderma R3 that's the one to go for. And I think it's cheaper as well. You look here, and I think they've got some kind of special offer as currently for the summer, 20% off, I think. So if this is the kind of dedicated gaming equipment that you want for the router, as you can see here, it's got plenty of speed. It's got Wi-Fi 6. It's got I think around 4 gigabit LAN ports. It's got an ARM 1.5 gigahertz quad-core processor. It's got 256 megs of RAM. So it's got plenty of speed and everything else to handle, and it's got, as we said, those dedicated kind of gaming features for you. Again, it's like I said, it's not going to improve your gaming if you're crap in the first place like me, but it will improve your connection with some of their kind of features that they have built in. But with Netgear, I'd say if you are a Netgear person, you like the brand, don't go for their gaming routers. Probably stick to for the same price, try and go for their Wi-Fi 6E or Wi-Fi 7 routers. In respect of Asus routers, their gaming ones are going to be much better. So as we can see here, their gaming ones, or their ROG ones that they normally brand them with, is much superior. They normally have quad-core processors, 10 gig ports, a minimum of like 2.5 and 5 gig ports as well for the Ethernet. They're going to have your game acceleration built in. They're going to have Wi-Fi 6E, Wi-Fi 7. They're going to have all the latest features as well that are going to be packed into there. So this is my perspective, is why gaming routers are better when you look at them. But of course, you're paying more money. But again, it's a kind of an investment. I look at it as, yes, you can buy these kind of devices. They are expensive as a one-off, but at least with Netgear, I think you have to pay a subscription, but with Asus you don't. You just pay a one-off, and that's what I really like, is that you can just pay and then you forget it kind of thing. You don't have to pay any more subscription fees and everything else around the Wi-Fi 7, Wi-Fi 6E and Wi-Fi 6 here. You're getting a better router that's future-proof for you. So again, this is just a quick rundown of them, and I'll put some links into here what the difference between a GPN and a VPN is, so you can understand that as well. So I'd like to see what you think as well. So leave in the comments what you think about gaming routers. Do you think they're worth it or not? And as I said, in my opinion, the gaming routers normally, especially with Asus brands and then the R3 as well, they are dedicated. They have a lot of features that are built in. I think that actually will help you. But again, it's not going to be better than Ethernet at the end of the day. And you need to make sure your internet connection is good in the first place. And things like interference and things like that, this is where when the devices come in and start upgrading their Wi-Fi to Wi-Fi 6E and Wi-Fi 7, where they have even more features. And again, if you want to know about Wi-Fi 7, see some of my other videos where I go into much more detail and things like that. But again, I would just like to see what you think about gaming routers, because generally I just think that they are worth the extra money. Yes, they're not always going to help with your gaming, but most of the time I think they will do with some of their features. It's not just marketing. Okay, so thanks for watching, and have a great day.